How often do I smoke? How many bowls per day do I smoke? I get asked this question quite often. And I think some of you are probably just curious, while others of you are probably new pipe smokers and you're wondering, how much is too much? Or how much is not enough? This is the Smoke With Me series, and I really encourage you to just take a few moments, not fast forward through this, but just truly slow down, load up a pipe, and share a bowl with me while we talk about this subject. There's an entire Smoke With Me playlist, if you enjoy this, that you can smoke with me for hours on end. But this is an opportunity for you to just have a friend to smoke with while we talk about something pipe related. Today I'd like to talk about this. I'm going to tell you everything about this that I know to tell you. And I'm not a doctor. I can just share with you my opinions and my personal experiences. So if that interests you, please load up a bowl. Let's go find some shade. Welcome back, Pipers. Hobbitonpiper Kevin here, coming to you from the Arkansas River Valley in America. And today, I'm going to talk about a subject that may be controversial. So just remember that I am not a doctor. I can just give my 2 cents on my opinions on the subjects of potential health issues, on how much you should smoke per day. We're going to talk about all those things. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed the Smoke With Me series. These videos are always a lot of fun, and I just try to relax and just talk with you while we smoke a pipe together. So today I'm going to smoke one of my all-time favorites, Orbit Golden Sliced. Many of you know that I really enjoy this blend and have for many years. This particular year is 2017. So this has got some really nice age on it, and I enjoy it a lot. I've already loaded my bowl, and I'm going to smoke out of my Savinelli 673KS Alligator Red. One of my favorite pipes. Let's get this lit, and we'll talk about all the controversial stuff. Now, if you're a person who gets in a hurry and likes to fast forward and get to the next video, just go ahead and leave and go do that, because this series really is for those of us that want to sit down and relax, where I don't have to hurry through the presentation or hurry through the discussion points. We just want to take our time and smoke our pipes together, sitting right across from each other. So that doesn't sound like it's for you, I understand. But that is the series you've stumbled upon. So for those of us who do enjoy it, it's a lot of fun. So I will not be in a hurry today, because pipe smoking and being in a hurry just don't go together, do they? That's one of the blessings of being a pipe smoker, is it forces you to slow down. Everything in life moves so fast these days. It's stressful. Got me a nice coal going here. We're going to let that coal slow cook the leaf around it. Any activity that you choose to be involved in your one life, you have to accept the inherent risks of that activity. Whether it's motorcycle riding, or rock climbing, American football, cycling, on and on it goes. Whatever activity you want to be involved in, there are going to be some inherent risks to that activity, and you have to accept those. And then there are normally things you can do to mitigate the risks, such as wearing a helmet, wearing the right equipment, the right gear, using proper techniques for whatever it is that you're participating in. The same is true with pipe smoking. Most everyone will agree, and a doctor won't touch this subject with a 10-foot pole, because what the medical profession appears to do, and insurance companies and everybody else, they like to group smoking, tobacco use, all in one big bucket, no matter what you're doing. If you're inhaling a ton of cigarettes per day, or if you're tobacco tasting a pipe, they want to put you in one big bucket and act like you're all the same. And that's not true. In fact, even though I smoke cigars, I smoke pipes, I make smoke with me videos on YouTube, if I'm asked if I'm a smoker, my answer is usually no. Because I don't inhale smoke, ever. I never inhale smoke. Listen to the entire presentation before you start making all your snide comments down below. Listen to the whole presentation, relax with me. This video is for those of us who are relaxing and listening. I don't inhale smoke into my lungs. Ever. If I ever do accidentally, I immediately cough. My body rejects it. So I know if smoke is getting into my lungs. We'll talk about the secondhand smoke element later. Just stay with me. Most everyone will agree that smoking a pipe in moderation is relatively safe. So there are things you can do to mitigate the risk. Obviously, not inhaling smoke into your lungs is the biggest one. Another one is, so it's safer still, right? It's safer still if you never inhale the smoke. If you use proper slow smoke techniques, and you do not burn your tongue, and you do not burn your throat, you do not burn your mouth, it's infinitely safer still. If you choose to not drink liquor while smoking a pipe, liquor is known to break down the cellular structure of your mouth tissue. If you do not drink liquor at the same time that you smoke a pipe, it's safer still. I love my whiskeys. Good drink. Not all good drinks are alcoholic, but I love my whiskeys. I was a whiskey taster for years, and I'm still a whiskey taster today. Love my bourbons, love my scotch. Normally, I will not drink those whiskeys at the same time that I am smoking a pipe. Have I done it before? Yes. Will I do it again? Yes. But by and large, I do not mix the two. That's just me. I know many of you can't imagine smoking a pipe without a bourbon in hand, and I understand that. But for me, my life, my choice, I choose to not mix the two very often at all. What you do with your one life is your business. You accept the inherent risks of the activities that you involve yourself in that one life, and you mitigate the risks that you wish to mitigate. I'm discussing it. So, that's another thing you can do to make it safer still, is not drink liquor while you smoke. Another thing you can do is to smoke outside. Because that smoke, as you'll be noticing here throughout this video, as soon as it leaves my mouth, I'm in a screened-in porch area with full airflow, and the smoke just goes away, and I'm immediately breathing clean air. That's another thing you can do to make it safer still. If you get proper oral screenings, I get 1 by my doctor annually, I get 2 by my dentists throughout the year, because I go every 6 months to the dentist. I get 3 oral screenings per year. That makes it safer still. So, while there are inherent risks, when done properly, smoking a pipe, in my opinion, I'm not a doctor, do so at your own risk, is relatively safe. And there are things you can do to make it even safer still. I was going through a time in my life where I was working 60 to 80-hour weeks as a computer programmer. I'm going to open a drink here, and it's a coffee drink. I normally wouldn't pair coffee with Royal Golden Slice. I would pair a good tea with this, a sweet tea or a green tea. But it's morning. It's a beautiful morning here in Arkansas, and it is hot. So I didn't want hot coffee out here. I got a cold coffee drink. I don't know if you ever heard of these. This is a Java Monster. It's just a coffee energy drink. Loca Mocha. It's cold. It's iced coffee basically. So I like this. It doesn't pair great with Royal Golden Slice like perfectly, but coffee and pipes, whether it's hot or cold coffee, man, they go together somehow. I was working 60 to 80-hour weeks as a computer programmer, and my health began to decline due to that stress. It was a very stressful, high deadline, high production job. And I began to look for things that I could do to relieve my stress, to unplug from it, to slow down, to relax. And I did many things. I love to read. I love to take walks in nature. I try to eat a balanced diet. There are many things you can do to reduce stress. But one thing, due to my connection with Tolkien's works and The Lord of the Rings, as a relatively young adult, took up pipe smoking. And I immediately found that my stress levels immediately reduced, like dramatically reduced. When you prepare the bowl and you sit down with it, I like to sit down when I'm really going to smoke. This may shock you. When I really want to sit down and smoke a pipe, I like to know that I've got a 90-minute block that I can just relax. You don't have to do that every time. You can pick up a pipe and enjoy it for 5, 10, 20 minutes and go back inside or go on about your day, or you can just have it in your mouth and do whatever you're doing. I like to sit and relax and use it as a meditation, relaxation, contemplation device where I can just unplug, and purposefully slow down my breathing and relax. So if I'm going to sit down with a cigar, I'm not going to do it unless I know I have 90 minutes. If I'm going to sit down with a pipe, that's my preference, but I will often come out even if I know I just have 20 minutes. We'll talk a little bit about different types of pipe smokers, because my friend Russ, that I mention often, who's a 40-plus year pipe smoker, if he is at home and available in his garage, or just maybe even working from home, he's got a pipe in his mouth all day. Some people love to have a pipe in their mouth when they're just outside working in the garden, working in the yard. I enjoy that some too. Some people like having a pipe when they're working in the shop or whatever they're doing. So, many different ways and reasons to enjoy a pipe. I eventually left that job, thankfully, and found something with a better work-life balance. However, it was pipe smoking that really started me back on a better path of having less stress. There is great benefits to this. I hear our trash truck coming around and I forgot to take out the trash. I need to go do that real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I caught the trash truck. Where were we? I guess I've said all I need to say about the potential health issues. I have none. I have no health issues from pipe smoking. In fact, my health is notably better since I started smoking a pipe. In fact, when I lived in Missouri, my doctor, who would never say this on record, I think I've told you this before, in one of the Smoke With Me videos early on, he said, because I'm very open with my doctors, and I tell them, yes, I smoke cigars, I smoke pipes, but I don't inhale the smoke. I consider myself a tobacco taster. And of course, they don't really have anything to say about that, but in this case, with that doctor, when I told him that, he said, you know what I've realized about pipe smokers? They outlive everybody else. And of course, he said it in jest, but still says something. Your experience may vary. Anything you do in life. I have had two very close friends, unrelated, different stages in my life, who both died from riding a motorcycle. Traffic accidents. That was their choice, to ride the motorcycle. They loved riding motorcycles. I know many of you love riding motorcycles. You understand the risks of it. And you do what you do because you love it and because you know the things you can do to help mitigate the risk. It's a life choice. This is a life choice. It's your choice. What you choose to do is your choice, your life. Your experience may vary. Okay. If anybody asks me about pipe smoking and potential health issues, I'm going to point them to this video. So if you're here because of that, welcome. Welcome to the Smoke With Me series. We're going to talk about some other things now too. This is going to be a longer video maybe, hopefully. I know many of you have asked for longer Smoke With Me videos, so we'll see. We'll see what happens here. So, how often do I smoke? I think there is a common misconception that pipe smoking presenters on YouTube such as myself, have a pipe in their mouth 24/7. And maybe some of them do, but that is not me. Since I do not inhale smoke, and there's no nicotine addiction issues with my life, and I'm not saying that everyone that smokes a pipe, that I'm not saying none of them have nicotine issues. Maybe some of them do. I see the sun is peeking over the house behind me here. I hope that's not blinding you. Do I need to adjust the camera, or is that cool? I can't tell if that's awesome or if that's annoying. Oh well, we'll leave it for now. What was I saying? Oh, about the nicotine element. You know, the nicotine that a pipe smoker has to handle is really coming from that lining of the mouth, getting in that way. Unlike a cigarette smoker, for example, where they are inhaling that smoke into the lungs with the purpose of obtaining that nicotine as fast as possible. And that's not what we're doing here. I'm going to try to adjust this where that sun's not right in your face. Give me 1 second. Okay. So while we do receive nicotine from these blends, and there's a relaxing element to that, if it goes too far, it can give you the spins, the nicotine sickness, and that's not good. But I don't do this for the purpose of nicotine. That's just an element of the experience. In fact, I try to reduce the effects of nicotine as best I can. When I know I'm going to smoke something with a lot of nicotine content, I'll make sure I eat a good meal beforehand. I may not smoke the last third of the bowl if I know it's a really strong blend, so that's not my goal. The point is this, though. I can go weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, if I choose to, without smoking a pipe and have zero side effects. No issues with, intense cravings or, nervousness or tics or anything negative at all. I smoke a pipe when I want to relax with a pipe. I'm in control of it. It doesn't control me, I control it. So with that in mind, I don't have to be smoking all the time. I can smoke a pipe when I'm ready to relax with a pipe. When I was a new pipe smoker, I was in what I call that aggressive discovery phase, where I was purchasing all these different kinds of blends I was finding out about and enjoying trying all those. And I still do some of that. I made a purchase just this week with 4 blends that I hadn't tried before. So I would say in those first few years, I was smoking even more than I smoke today, because I was wanting to try all these different blends and all these different pipes, and if I had any spare moment, that's what I wanted to be out doing. I have a little more balance in my life with it now, where it's a relaxation time for me, but I am involved in lots of other things in my life. I have a large family, have a very busy work schedule, thankfully not nearly as intense as it used to be when I was younger, but still a lot going on. And so I come out here when I want to. But I remember those first few years being just really wanting to learn. Kind of a tough learning curve that first year, and just trying to work through that. And I was not going to let the frustrations stop me, and I was going to figure this out, and I did. And I kept with it. And I started smoking a pipe after I got married. So it wasn't a part of my life prior to being married. So when I told my wife that this was something I was going to start doing, her only requirement was that, okay, but would you please only do it outside? It's like, sure. We live in Arkansas where it can be some pretty hot summers and pretty cold winters, but we have beautiful springs, beautiful fall, and when you're in the shade or you have some cover like this, almost year-round you can enjoy a pipe at some point if you're dressed properly. So it's like, absolutely not a problem. Happy to do that. So I only smoke outside. That can, though, have an effect on when I want to smoke a pipe, because this is what I'm getting to answer your question of how often I smoke and how many bowls I smoke per day. We're getting there. It depends on a few things. It depends on my mood. Am I in the mood to? Because remember, I don't have to do this for any reason other than I want to. So, am I in the mood to smoke a pipe? Do I have the time? Because normally, if I'm going to load up a bowl, I like to have a little bit of time to sit with it. So, am I in the mood? Do I have the time? And what's the weather like outside? Is it 110 degrees in the shade? Then maybe I'll skip today. Is it 5 degrees outside? Might be a little too cold to bundle up and sit out there today. So the weather can affect it as well. So I would say, to answer your question, on a good day where I have the time to relax, I would say a bowl in the morning with coffee, a bowl in the afternoon, and a bowl in the evening is usually my max. 3 good bowls a day. But these are not like 5-minute bowls. When I have the time, I'm sitting, I'm relaxing, it can be up to an hour or two. So you think about it that way, that's a big part of your day, if you really do it. If you really have time to do it and want to do it. But I know of friends who 6+ bowls, not uncommon at all. But I think many of you ask me that question because you're a new pipe smoker and you wonder how much is too much. And that's where I want to bring you to something that I have not heard mentioned often, if at all. I was talking to Russ about this on the phone just a couple days ago. You need to listen to your body. If you have burnt your tongue, if you have burnt your mouth in any way, your tongue, the roof of your mouth, your cheek, your throat, a chemical burn in your throat, if you have hurt yourself in any way, you need to listen to that and you need to stop. You need to back off. Let your body heal. Because here's the point. If you get nothing else out of this whole video, please take this with you. It's not how many bowls you smoke. It's how you smoke the bowls. Because you could smoke 1 bowl and burn your tongue, burn your cheek, burn your mouth, burn your throat, and be drinking a 5th of Jack Daniels with it, and you could do more harm in that 1 bowl than a lifetime's worth of bowls smoked properly. That is my opinion. So it's not the number of bowls that matters. Are you using proper slow smoking techniques? Have you burnt your tongue? Have you burnt your mouth? Is your throat irritated? You need to listen to your body. And if you're all good to go, smoke another bowl if you want to. Now, I will say, that the more you smoke properly, the more acclimated you get to it, the better your experience can be. If I go a month, which has been very rare since I started smoking a pipe, but if I were to go a month without smoking a pipe and come back to it, that first bowl, I may have to be kind of getting reacclimated to the entire experience. Whereas if I've been smoking on the regular, it's like riding a bike. There's like, everything's comfortable, everything's fine, don't have to think about it. So there is some truth to being acclimated makes for a better experience. It's like many hobbies in life where you take a break from it, kind of have to get back in the swing of things to really be doing it at a high level. So keep that in mind too. But yeah, listening to your body is super important. Back off if you feel something's not quite right. I remember one time I was eating some chicken wings from Buffalo Wild Wings. They were just the bone-in wings. I like the traditional wings more than boneless. And so I remember I was eating several of those wings, and I kind of bit down on one, and the bone kind of banged into one of my teeth here on the gum, and just kind of made it sore. I just didn't smoke a pipe till that healed. Now, it healed in a few days, but I just didn't do it. Probably didn't matter whether I did or not. But I listened to my body. If I've got any sort of issues going on in that area, I don't smoke. Maybe that makes me weak in some of your eyes, but that's just how I choose to live my one life. Some people smoke a pipe no matter what. You live your one life that way then, and that's great. You do you. One thing while I'm thinking about it, people will talk about certain blends that make their throat irritated. And it's usually not the blend's fault. It's not your fault either necessarily. It might be due to your cadence or due to, the fact that you're smoking too fast. But it also may be because certain blend components are not reacting to your personal mouth chemistry very well. There are some aromatic toppings that just irritate my throat to no end, and I just have to say this blend's not for me. There are certain burleys and the way that they are processed that, or maybe just the actual component itself, that particular varietal, just irritates my throat, and it doesn't have anything to do with technique. It's just that particular leaf component doesn't agree with my mouth chemistry. And so part of the learning experience is figuring out what those components are and what those blends are, and it's just best to just move on from those, because you're going to find plenty out there that do agree with you. Because I don't like irritation in any way. I don't like to wake up the next morning with a sore throat because I was smoking a pipe. That's not going to be my life. So if that happens, then make note of it, make adjustments. I hope this conversation has been beneficial to you in some way. I hope you're able to relax while we're talking here. If nothing else, things to think about. And I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments about your personal experience. Speak to your personal experience. But to this point, thankfully, in my life, I have had nothing but health benefits from smoking a pipe. But again, that's just my experience. Your experience may be different. I use about every pipe smoking risk mitigator that I know of in my personal pipe smoking lifestyle. Just my choice, my life, that's what I do. And to this point, thankfully, I have had no health issues whatsoever. In fact, I have only gained health benefits from smoking a pipe. But your experience may be completely different, and it's your choice whether or not you want to participate in this particular activity. I smoke probably 3 bowls a day max, and there are some days I don't smoke at all. But there's one thing that I am addicted to. I may not be addicted to the nicotine, but I am very addicted to the joy and relaxation that this brings to my life. I'm addicted to the friends that I've met. And I'm so thankful that the pipe entered my life when it did. I hope that that's your experience. I'm here to bring you the joys of pipe smoking. I want to talk to you about all these different kinds of pipe blends, and I want to talk to you about all the awesome pipes that are out there, and all the little gadgets, the lighters, the tampers, the things like that that go with it, and the pipe stands. And it's just such a cool hobby, lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. And it's so enjoyable to me, and if I can pass any of that joy along to you and it helps to bless and enrich your life, then hopefully I've done something good. So thank you for being here and sharing this bowl with me. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much to my fellowship of supporters. You can read all about that in the description below. And until we talk again, I hope you're able to go enjoy some good food, good drink, and a good pipe.